Nice. Oh, this is so exciting to have conservative mama back on. Welcome. It's been a while.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
This is very exciting. I've been following you, and I know you've been doing the family thing and the politic thing and all kinds of crazy stuff. But I love having you on the show, and I'll tell you this now, while we're on the air, that you you were the most shared guest on my show on YouTube.
What?
I don't do a lot on YouTube
Yeah.
because I have to be very careful.
Yeah.
But you're bubbly and fun, and we don't use a lot of profanity, and we got rid of all those photos.
Yeah.
So
Those have been erased.
yeah, I just got my little yearly thing from YouTube, Hey,
Okay.
Jen, here's
Oh,
the
your
analytics.
recap.
And
Yeah.
you are the number one.
Okay.
So I'm going to
Interesting.
keep exploiting people to get my numbers up.
Okay. All right. Let's go.
I told you I was just on
Yeah.
Loomer, and she like got me more views than I've ever gotten. I'm just gonna have maybe you and Laura and maybe Alex Jones, if you would all hire me, that would be great.
I was going to ask you for a job, Ken. So this is
That's funny. That's funny. Since we're showing off our cups.
Yes. Oh, mine I always have this one. Father's Mouth. Oh, that's good. Where'd you get that one?
Because they do. I
They
got
do.
this. Yeah, I got this from one of the most talented dudes online, and I followed him for years, and he's exploded. I mean, that's something that's been very rewarding for me. When I was in radio, I followed all these people online, and
Yeah.
now that there's such a hunger for truth, their careers have all taken off, but mine hasn't. But I still feel great about it. I still feel
Don't
great
say
about
that.
But no,
You
seriously,
started this all. Stop it.
seriously. His name is Officer Tatum. He's just total. You know who he
Oh,
is?
okay. I know who he is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got great swag.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I like the Fathers Matter. That's
Oh
something
yeah,
I
he's
might.
all about. I mean, he is a Christian man, a former cop, and he's about manhood and respecting women and femininity and the Constitution. And it's a
Oh,
breath of fresh air. He's a great role model for people, and there's a whole bunch of people like him online, and they're
good.
taking off, like you are taking off because you make people laugh.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I'm taking off. I've kind of plateaued, but that's okay. We can hope for the best in 2024.
Do you know how many podcasts there are worldwide as of last month?
I feel like everyone has a podcast, so I would say close to 7 billion.
Holy moly, you really overshot yourself there. You took the impact right out. I mean, how do I top that? I mean,
I know, because now whatever you say, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's insignificant.
It's actually 8 million
8 million. Okay.
podcasts. Yes.
Well, what do we have? Like 350 million in the US.
In the US, we have 328 million American citizens. We have
Okay.
27 million illegal foreign nationals.
Oh,
And as of Monday, we broke the record for illegals coming over the border. We had
nice.
just under 13,000 come in. And the
Right.
majority were military age men, which is great because that's really it's gonna help everyone out at the mall.
Honestly, what is that about? Can we just like talk about that for a
Yeah,
second? Why?
throw it out there.
Like,
Because every major military knows that to take over a country that is as militarily and I would say educationally, but not anymore, militarily superior, you have to start from the inside.
right.
And that's why they're mixing in some very, very, to quote George Bush, bad hombres.
Mm.
There's some bad hombres in there. And Trump just says rapist, but there are some rapists in there too. But the military age men, 92%, and this is from the European Immigration Agency, 92% of all immigration, with the exception of Ukrainians, in the last year has been military age men from all over, from Haiti, from the Middle
Like,
East, from Afghanistan. The exception is Ukraine because there are Ukraine.
Refugees, right,
Yeah, you're
right,
getting some young children, and because as much as Ukraine is trying to scoop them all up and traffic them, they can't catch them all. Some of them are actually making it to the airport. So.
And now Ukraine's trying to I think they're going to try to do another draft of a men over 40 there or something like that, including
In the Ukraine.
Yes.
Oh, I feel so sorry for those people.
Isn't that sad?
Yeah, they're just being sad. Yeah. I was just talking about that today. I played the video of Zelensky doing I don't know if you've seen his dancing video.
Oh, I've seen his dancing videos. I've seen some more videos have you seen the piano video?
The what?
The piano?
No.
Him playing the piano with his genitals? Have you not seen
Zelensky plays the piano with his...
Yes.
See, I am just not bringing enough content to this show. That's the problem. I practiced the piano last night I'm serious. I play the piano. I play every day.
Oh, nice. Good.
Yeah, it keeps me insane. There's a couple things I do regularly. Every morning I pray. Yes. Every evening I pray. Okay. And I try to get in some piano time at least every other day.
Nice.
I just had the piano that my parents bought me in 1972. This is well before your birth, I believe. And they bought me this lovely piano, and I've dragged it around all over the country. I just had it refurbished.
Oh, nice.
It's just a little upright Yamaha, 50 years old. I had it rebuilt, and I can't get enough of it now. It sounds like the day I got it. It's just oh my gosh, it's like a brand new piano.
Love it.
I've never played it with my manhood. And see, that's where Zelensky.
Okay. Yeah. he has definitely one-upped you. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that was before he became Mr. President or whatever he is over there.
Yeah.
It was before that he was an entertainer, he was an actor, and he had some really
But he was a slimy one.
Sketches, yeah. But that was one of his little sketches that he did. I would love the demo. They should they should play that. I mean, the things you could do.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind,
run an ad with that and then say Ukraine needs more money and this is how Zelensky wants you to.
Oh yeah.
Contribute, please. I mean, I think more people are actually waking up to the whole Ukraine thing.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I think more people are starting to talk about it and speak up about it. I mean, to be honest with you, it's like sending people to die, tons of people to die. And we've just the country is completely in ruins. And
well, definitely part of it is.
It never had to be, right? We could have negotiated. We stepped in. We wanted. We got in the way of the negotiations.
Yes, twice we did. Twice.
And you got to ask yourself why. You know what I'm saying? I hope people ask why.
It's money.
Right.
It's money. That's what it is. And when people find out, I'm not saying if anymore. That's the difference between the last time we were on the show and now. There was an if, and now it's just when, because two big things happened, and I'm sure you're aware of them in the last couple of weeks. Okay. Alex Jones is back on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And I've been an Alex Jones fan for many, many years. Okay. And I've been very open about it. Do we agree on everything? No. But does he put more truth out into the media landscape than anybody else? Probably.
Yeah.
Because he's totally fearless. He doesn't care.
No, there's no filter. He'll just say it. He actually played one of my videos, I guess. People started writing me. Well, it was about a month ago, the Greater Good one. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yes, I have.
That was before he got back on Twitter, but he's like, who is this person? He doesn't know who I am. He doesn't know who I am, but he was like, who is this? He's like, who is this person?
And he played that on InfoWars.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I've got to start playing the piano with my penis. I have got it. I have got to get some marketing traction.
So yeah, the Greater Good video. I mean, I think that video that's the video that if you want to know what's going on, that's what's going on.
Yeah. If you want to get a sense of your beliefs, when we both joke around a lot, but if you want to get a sense of your beliefs and just
Yeah.
like there's certain videos you can tune into me and get my beliefs. And so you got Alex Jones on Twitter, and you've got Tucker just launched Tucker Carlson Network,
Yeah.
which
So
is
is that like a news show? Is that what it's going to be? Just solely news reporting, or is it going to be
it's
commentary?
going to be a full-time streaming service that is
Wow.
independent, so he doesn't need any other platform.
Yeah.
And then he's going to suck up any remaining careers in his path. We're all going to be sucked, and then we can eat out of his dumpster.
Okay.
So it's going to be awesome. No,
Okay.
it's going to be a full-time streaming service that features his content, at least for now. And he's charging $6 a month, which
Okay.
is $4 less than me.
Yeah.
So I'm sure everybody's just going to, say, no way, Tucker, I'm sticking with Ken.
Yeah. That's totally
Tucker,
going to happen.
Tucker, who?
I'm sorry. Who? Tucker where? Tucker what?
But but in all seriousness, I've been so excited about Tucker and Alex, and
Yeah.
then you throw in like a Laura Loomer over on Rumble, and a little louder with Crowder, and it's just going to be this juggernaut of truth tellers that
Yes.
are on a much they've been doing it longer than us. They're on a higher level than us.
Okay. Oh,
The
yes.
diff-
Okay. Okay.
the difference between regular media, this, you've been in regular media before in Hollywood and all that,
Yeah.
sleazy, scummy stuff, but you got out of it.
I did. I
And
did.
they're like, CNN would never celebrate if Fox started telling the truth all of a sudden. CNN wouldn't be like, we're really happy that Fox is
No.
getting. But see, podcasters are different, because most of us that are truth tellers, we're in there we're here because of our heart and
Yes.
our relationship to the country and God and our family. So I am thrilled every time
Right.
someone breaks a story. I'm like, yes, and I want
Right.
to share it and tweet it and talk about it. And that's why
Well,
I
it's
was
getting, yeah, it's
yeah.
getting the truth. It's getting the truth out there. I mean, I think for COVID, like during COVID, it was so suppressed and it was so like clamped down. And so you have all this pent angst that you're like, oh, and you wanted to share it. And you had, I mean, there's so much that I was like, I gotta say this, but I knew if I said it on Facebook, I'd be gone. I was like, and then what good is that if I'm gone? Like, so I had to like, I'm censoring myself. And that is a horrible, like, that's like, that makes me like, it makes you nauseous having to think about like having to censor what you really want to say. So now having all these outlets that we can now like really say what's happening, it's like, it's a purging it's taking. It's a beautiful thing. It's like,
yeah. And I'd like, did you see Elon's last interview where they asked him about the rubbing advertisers the wrong way and saying controversial?
Yes, loved it.
Oh my
I actually
gosh.
posted that. That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was
I
beautiful.
showed that to my husband. I was like, you have to see this. He's like not into like, he's like, but I was like, watch this. This is how it's done.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I said this before. Elon, it doesn't matter if you have FU money if you don't have the courage to say FU.
Right.
So he has FU money, and he said to people, you're not going to blackmail me with your advertising. Go F yourself.
Right.
I got enough money. FU.
And I thought to myself, like, what do you think, like the globalists, like the World Economic Forum, those people saw that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think about, that was like a huge moment, like actually historical moment, because it completely flipped. It flipped the whole thing we've had going, where that the advertisers pretty much control. If the advertisers don't like you, you don't make money, you don't go find a job doing something else. But the minute you say, I don't need the advertisers, I'm going to say what I want to say, like their power was pulled in that moment.
Yes.
And that's terrifying.
The thing that has elevated where we are now is not only are people doing it like Elon Musk and many others that have the capital and the status to say,
I don't care.
Yeah. Right? But here's the best part. We've never had so many people like that on our side. So I may not agree with Elon on everything, but I think Elon, you look at someone like Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, Naomi Wolf, they're all on our side when it comes to free speech, big pharma,
individual liberty. Yeah. Free, like just, yes.
And what that has done, I think it's energized the population. So now we can finally in 2024 say, you know what? I think we should go up to Congress and just go Elon on them, and see, notice I said go Elon, okay?
Right. Right.
Very peacefully. But
Peacefully, Elon.
yeah,
Peacefully, Elon. Okay.
yeah, Pelon,
Just for clarity. Okay.
Pelon.
Right.
That sounds like a French dessert. I,
I'll have the Pelon, please.
yeah, yeah. Oh my God, you've overcooked it. But we need
Filet and Pelon.
everybody more people are awake now. And,
Right.
like we were talking about elections before the show, and I believe now there's probably 200 million people that are in the camp literally, that believe it was either stolen or at the very least there were mistakes made and there was fraud. And
Right.
now we have passed the tipping point. But 3 years ago, if you said, they stole the Pennsylvania election, they stole Arizona, they stole Nevada, people would say you're a conspiracy theorist, you're undermining democracy. Now people are saying, yeah, I know, something really doesn't smell right.
Right. Right. Well, I mean, I think that the news about Hunter's laptop and all that information being suppressed, like when a population, a citizenry, does not have the full amount of information to make an educated vote, then it was thrown. Like that alone
Yes.
Says it wasn't a fair election because the information needed to make a good solid decision where you can justify your vote. If that information was withheld from you, like that's a stolen election in its own self.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, do you want to renew this marriage contract? Well, if they withheld the information that your spouse was having an affair, you wouldn't have renewed the contract. It's stuff like that. It's like we didn't have all the information. American citizens didn't have all the information. I know I have family members and friends that voted for Joe Biden. If they would have known that the dirty dealings of the Biden family and what was on Hunter's laptop, I mean, I've seen some of that stuff and it's like disgusting. It's sick. It's evil.
Well, it's criminal.
If that would have been put out there, there might have been a pause before, like, oh, we're just anti-Trump. Like, there might have been like, okay, maybe Trump's not that bad. So,
well, the other information that is coming out now, for 3 years, there's been all these courageous people, truth tellers, and people there's thousands of witnesses, there's hundreds and hundreds of affidavits, there's videotape, there's documentation, and all the states that were in play, 5 of them, they passed the test of being decertified within the first 2 weeks after the election. This is before we even knew all the fraud. For example, there's just so many things that decertify an election. For example, if you haven't maintained chain of custody of the votes, then those votes cannot be counted. They have to be disregarded. Right. And then if you don't have signatures on the ballots. And before we even get to the vote tabulation machines and the drop boxes, drop boxes by law have to be videotaped.
Yes.
Or manned. They either have to be manned or they just can't be out in the middle of the desert.
No.
Rachel can go out and
drop your ballots.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean? And there's hundreds of cases like that, not just in my state, but all over the country.
Yeah.
And this is what nobody wanted to talk about it. I mean, and in our state, now I know you're in Colorado, but in our state, we have the most corrupt Supreme Court.
Yeah.
They're just
it's
total
a hot mess. I know.
Scumbags. And so every single time Trump won in court, which no one ever hears about, people go, you're right. We can't have those in. You're right. There wasn't a poll observer. Then the federal judge comes in, some Obama pick or something.
Right.
Just no, everything was fine. And then they go, all right, we're taking it to the Supreme Court. But they're all in bed with the governor. Now, not literally. They're not literally in bed with the governor.
Or are they?
What's that?
I said, or are they? I'm just kidding.
Yes, that would be Rachel for the lawsuit.
No.
Rachel down at the 30 lawsuit. No. No, there was no, I am aware of no sexual activity between the Supreme Court justices of Pennsylvania and the current governor, who is a lying piece of garbage and was a former attorney general. But no, I'm no sexual activity. So
Right.
yeah, yeah.
No Zelensky stuff going on.
No, so woo.
No. But here's my thing. Okay, this is where I kind of.
What is your thing?
I go off into my own like Rachel world where I start to play all these different scenarios, and I just feel like maybe it's trauma, and I hate the word trauma, but maybe it's trauma after COVID, and I saw it all going down. Like I saw it all going down the minute not the minute I heard about the Wuhan or whatever virus, but it was soon into that. I was like, this is all a play. This is all about the election. It's all about the election. They're all coming for 2020. And I feel like I just don't, as we head into 2024, I'm like, they're not going to let us just have a normal election.
No, there's never going to be a fair election in this country. So this is
I
something
feel
we
like
have
there's
to.
so many shenanigans that are going to go down between the time I'm now talking to you, Ken.
Yep.
And was it November, whatever, the first, I don't know what.
Heck, just this afternoon before dinner, there's probably going to be some shenanigans.
Right. There's so much, and like going back, like to circle back to these dudes crossing the border.
Yes.
I'm like, we have these terrorist cells in the U.S., like all of this stuff. And have you noticed the increase in cyber talk? Like every cyber attacks, cyber talk, like that to me is like a red flag going off here. I'm like, they're really starting to talk about cyber attacks. Like I know that Rumble had a hit or something like that just recently.
Yes.
But,
yes, they did.
Yeah, but it's starting to like, and they always kind of forewarn you. That's what they do. Like with the world, they tell you we're gonna release this a pandemic exercise, and then shortly after we have a pandemic, and now we're hearing cyber attack. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, what is gonna happen? And I would love to be like, and I actually talked to my dad about this. I would be like, I love to be like, oh, it's just a normal, we have election, you show up.
No, that's done. That's
so
over.
It's like, just get ready for anything is what I'm kind of feeling. I'm like,
this is the only time, this is probably one of the first times in history where so many entities are aligned against us that should have and should be protecting us. So we can no longer trust law enforcement, the DOJ, FBI, our government, our Senate, our Congress, our courts.
Right.
Uh-oh. No. So what are we going to do? Because they're letting the hordes in. We see them shopping in California and Philadelphia every weekend. They shop, they go shopping, they break the window out, they back in the stolen car, they get all their gifts at 100% off. It's going to be a lot worse.
Yeah.
It's going to get so
chaos.
bad.
And that's all they're about, chaos. Like making it feel so crazy. So I'm just like, what is it going to be? Like what they're probably like, let's just spin the wheel and see, cyber attack or another pandemic or, a terrorist. It's like, I don't know, but I know they're cooking up something. And I just want people to be like ready and aware.
It's going to be cyber.
I think so too.
Yeah. Did you see the movie? This is going to blow you away when you see it. If you haven't seen it, it's called Leave the World Behind.
No.
With Julia Roberts and Ethan.
Oh, the one that's recently just that they're talking about that the Obamas.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. Now let me clear the air on that.
Okay.
Woo! Let me clear it. When I watched that, I didn't even know the Obamas had produced it. And I love the movie.
Whoa.
Let me tell you something. Everybody jumped on some clips that had some, like there's this angry,
white people are horrible or something.
Yeah,
like
there's
that.
an angry young black girl in there and her dad's wealthy and they own a home and she's like, I don't trust these white people, dad, and white people are blah, blah, blah. So she's every college kid in Philly, basically.
Yeah, we got it. Okay.
And someone took that and said, and I several people did it. Charlie Kirk said it. Now, I don't know if Charlie Kirk saw the movie. I have a lot of respect for Charlie Kirk, but you should see the movie. And here's why.
Okay. It's what is it?
Leave the World Behind. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
What I basically said in my review, and I really went too long in my review, and my wife will tell you I can be long-winded, like for decades. Because I love all the actors in it. I loved all the
Right.
actors. I forget the black actor's name. I can't pronounce it, but he was brilliant. Um, Basically, Julia and Ethan Hawke and their son and daughter live in New York City, and this black guy and his wife, very wealthy and successful, they're out of their house a lot. So they said, you know what? Let's just rent out the house on Long Island. So the wife was flying overseas. The daughter goes to a private school, and the dad, they have a place in New York. So they're in New York City. Now, you don't know a lot of this, so I'm not going to give you too much more, but I'm giving you the meat of it. Um, there was an attack on New York City, some type
Okay.
of attack, cyber,
Right.
EMP, electric,
Right.
something. Um, and so the father gets the daughter. We don't know this till later, and he heads to the house. He knocks on
Okay.
the door. There's Julia Roberts, who I think she gets better with age. I mean, I know
Okay.
everybody goes, you know, oh my gosh, her and Richard Gere were so great when she played a whore. Um,
Right. Right.
no, no, this is a great role for her. She is an
Okay.
angry, bitchy career woman.
Okay.
Oh, hold on a second. Did I just knock something off here? There we go.
Did you?
I thought I knocked myself off the air.
Okay.
So they show up. The couple shows up and says, "We are sorry to bother you. This is our home." And they're like, "What?" So everybody says that's racism. No, it's not racism. It's people showing up at a rented house saying, "This is our home. We want to come in." You don't know.
Right.
Anyway,
Right.
the long and short of it, they explain something terrible has happened in New York. Can we stay in your home? I mean, can we stay
Can
here?
we stay in our home?
Yeah,
Okay.
can we stay in our home? But we're
Right.
going to let you have it because you have it for the weekend.
Right.
So this is what gets these people together.
Okay.
Then America keeps getting attacked, and things keep going sideways, and they start losing everything, power, and Kevin Bacon's in it. He's awesome.
How do they handle it? I mean, like that could literally happen.
It will happen. It's
Okay,
not.
so what are we gonna do, Ken?
Well, first of all, you see the movie, and I wish I got a cut of it, believe me. But the
Okay.
reason you see the movie is like I put at the end of my review.
Yeah.
I said, this is one of the most disturbing movies I have seen ever. And I see a lot of movies, and I read a lot of books.
Yeah.
And I'm fully clothed right now. This is I said, it's one of the most disturbing movies, and you must see it if you want to be ready for 2024.
Okay.
Because the dialogue is, in my opinion, brilliant. The
Really?
conversations that take place between Ethan
Is it
Hawke.
political? Is it political at all, or is it just straight up political?
Not really. No.
Okay.
It's just it's human beings
Right.
reacting to what's going on. I don't know. Do you know? You know, don't you? No, I don't. What about you?
Right.
But then they have these there's a lot of conceptual stuff. And Kevin Bacon, I'm going to go out on the limb and say he would be the MAGA guy.
Okay.
He's the guy that comes out and says, "Hey, everybody, here's some cold water on your face." And when you put Kevin Bacon in there with the two black actors and the white family from New York, and the dialogue, it's so funny because some people, we've been so programmed, Rachel, by our own government. Everything has to be racial and not Rachel.
Right.
Racial.
Right.
There's a difference between Rachel and racial.
Right.
But they're been programmed. It's got to be political. If Obama did it. Now, first of all, you know from Hollywood, you can get a producer credit and do nothing.
Yeah. So so now I have a better understanding, because when I that's the first time I saw when they're like, it's not race, and they say what, and I was like, that's horrible.
Yeah, I know. You see, and we're programmed, and there's so many people like that. Think about it. There have been so many people that go on The View and say, these white people, we need to start killing them.
Right.
Like, we're so programmed.
That's not even the story, right? It's not even the story.
No, the story is about, couples from, And the interesting is that this, you could tell they haven't seen it because the wealth is on the black side of the story. So
Okay.
it's not like, oh, we've got some poor black people staying in our home. No,
Right.
this guy is like a billionaire and he
Okay.
rents out some of his homes and he
Yeah.
decided to take his daughter in private school who has a major attitude
Okay.
for her own safety
Right.
out of the city. Now,
Yes.
there's another scene that I got to tell you about that's awesome.
Okay.
Boy, do these people owe me money for this movie. And this, and here's why I think it's going to happen. Yesterday afternoon, New York Post, 2 million Teslas, or it's either two, I think it's 2 million.
Yeah, we're recalled. Yeah, I saw that.
Because of malfunctioning AI, malfunctioning self-driving function. What happens in the movie, Rachel?
The cars take over and start driving.
The cars take over and clog highways.
Jeez.
So they're there, and Ethan Hawke is like, come on, let's just go. Look, you stay here. So they start to trust each other, and there's this dynamic. There's also stuff going on with animals. There's planes falling out of the sky. There's ships running aground. It's everything that most truth people, like yourself and me and many others, have said, you know, when the poop hits the fan, it's going to hit the fan because we're just standing here doing nothing. So they get on the freeway, or they're like in
no, I mean, do not get on the freeway if we have an EMP or a cyber attack.
But they don't know what's going on.
You're gonna have to use back roads. You're probably gonna be on foot. And then also, if it's an EMP, you're all cars shut down, Ken. Like you have to be driving like a 1970 or like lower.
Unless it's not an EMP and it's a hack. So the first thing they see before the power goes out, it's like it's all scratchy.
Okay.
So apparently someone has hacked several power plants in the Northeast, which is very doable. It's very easy. You can hack anything. We're the most hacked. The people in charge of protecting us have spent so much time monitoring us and tracking you to the board meeting at the school for your kids, and tracking me to the speaking event at the tea party, that they've left our borders open and they've pretty much let people come in. So everything that you and I have discussed so far prior up to this movie is in that movie. That's why if you want to get a little snapshot of it, so they go to the back roads, they turn on, it says like, State Road 4 North, and they pull out, and there's white Teslas just crashing in to everything.
No.
Yes.
That's terrifying.
And I'm thinking, this can happen this afternoon. It isn't like, it's not like 20 years ago. There's so many movies similar to this, right? Armageddon-like movies.
Yes.
But see, now we're there. We're there. We've had the fake plague. We've had the stolen election.
Yes.
We've had people arrested in Australia and put in camps because they wouldn't get a vaccine.
Right. So okay. So I'm trying to find here's this girl. This is what I was looking for.
I know the guy you're talking about.
Have you heard of Whitney Webb?
Yes.
She had this thing the other day that I stumbled upon, and she's like this brilliant.
I have been following Whitney Webb since I can't even remember.
She's amazing, but she came up with this whole thing about how she does believe there will be a cyber attack, and then they'll say that it was hackers, like random hackers that hacked it and took everything down, and then because of these random hackers, we can't have just anyone get on the internet because that would just be because look at what they did. Look at what they did. It's a horrible event that happened because of these random hackers. So now everybody has to have an ID to get onto the internet and then against tracking you.
Facial recognition. Yes. To have access to communicate with other people. Yeah. It's kind of like, it's the rich man's Nazi.
Yes.
Hitler didn't have that. He didn't have that technology. All he could do is send his thugs out and say, let me see your papers if you want to go to the next block.
Right.
But here they just go, let me scan your eye.
Yeah, but think like you got to log in if you want to, like, if I want to talk to you, I have to log in with internet ID. So then they know, oh, Rachel was talking to Ken. She was on his podcast at this
Yep.
time. They talked about da, 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 da. I mean, they're monitoring everything. Then that's when they usher in this the whole social credit scoring stuff. It's just
Mhm.
nuts.
Don't forget, you can't have the election because we can't risk it being hacked. You see,
Right.
it should have never been taken to that level. It should have always been paper. The one thing that should have been constant in our government structure is the ability to elect and reelect people. That's why we should have never expounded it to, oh, I'll just vote on my phone. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Right.
5. You know,
Right.
no.
No.
Because the whole reason is control. The only
Right.
reason the government makes things convenient for you is so they can
Control you.
control you. There's no,
Right.
that's why we're shutting down small farms. You have to have a permit now to get a garden in major cities. You have to have a permit to grow your own food? Are you kidding me?
Stop it. Yeah.
Well, that was very exciting, that movie talk.
This is very uplifting.
I always tell people, now that I put
So
you in a
what
good
do you
mood.
do with this? Okay.
Well, the first thing, and this is why I the minute I saw this stuff kind of dripping out about the movie,
Yes.
the
Yeah.
minute I saw it, and well, first of all, I saw it like when it opened because I'm a movie freak.
Yeah.
And
Well, now I gotta watch it. I gotta watch it.
well, first of all, the soundtrack and the score are both brilliant. I have a collection of soundtracks and scores for movies like 20 years. I love, and it
Awesome.
is so messed up, man. Sometimes there's no music at all, and you're like, is this still on? And then you realize the whole movie is set to remind you that you, Mr. Audience Member, are so dependent on all this.
Yes.
What are you gonna do?
Right. Loss
And
of control. Right.
yes, yes.
And think that's to induce fear, panic. Who knows how this whole thing goes down? And then they're like, here's what we need to do because this happened.
Yeah.
You guys wasn't that bad? Wasn't like COVID bad? Wasn't the cyber attack bad? So this is what we need to do to protect you.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
for
that's
the
what
greater
crisis
good.
is.
Right.
And this is written down. I mean, this has been part of the not only the American, but the Western hemisphere, European as well, and in some cases the Middle East. This has been part of the plan from the very beginning. How do we move populations without having to go in there with guns?
Right.
Well, you use disease to move them. You use fear. You use racism. You use sex. How do we control big blocks of humans without having to go in and control big blocks of humans? They'll take care of it themselves. And that's something else that's talked about in the movie that, to me, the writing, somebody in that mix had a brain, because it could have went right off the rails.
Okay.
It could have been, sitting around drinking white wine. Oh, these white people in New York, they're destroying everything.
Right. Yeah.
But it wasn't. It wasn't that at all. It was pure fear.
Okay.
And once the fear got connected to everyone, and it wasn't like stupid horror film fear where let's run into the shed with a chainsaw and see if the man will get us. It wasn't like that. It was like, we got to
like
figure
strategic survival. Like, what are we going to do?
Yes, they're all sitting around and they're going, okay, so if that's down, and the guy keeps forgetting, or he doesn't want to frighten people, okay, when it's finally established it's his house, and then everybody's like getting along and they're looking after each other, and he goes, oh, I forgot to tell you, I was at the beach the other day looking for so-and-so whose house is now abandoned because everybody started to take off. You just don't know how people are going to behave.
Right.
And an airliner crashed. It didn't make it to JFK. It just crashed on the beach. And that's exactly what happens when you knock out air traffic control and digital. So he's like in the backyard of his neighbor's house, and he hears this, and it,
oh,
and it's like, yeah. But see, that's why people should see the movie, because all this happens. All this is possible. It's not there weren't like giant dragons flying down and flying saucers. It was just the humans losing all their control.
Our dependency on technology, what happens if that is compromised? and that's concerning. So that's flying around in my head right now. All of it. All of it. So
But you know, I think we should, I'm putting up my dukes, not for you. This is for evil. Evil.
Let's go. Well, but see, that's where like we said, that's where I have like my faith. Like you got to trust God in this time.
Oh my gosh. If
because he's outside of it all, right? He's like, I
yes.
see it. I know it's going to happen. It's not going to like trust me to get you through this. And that's like, because I mean, being a mom, you know, you're like, well, what would I do? And what would my kids be? What if something happened when my kids aren't home or they're gone or at school? Like, how do I get to them? Like, I got to give that stuff to God. I can't.
You have to. Or it will destroy you. It will eat you away. It's like, you know, briefly, I was a firefighter for 2 years, and I never really saw this. I left in 2010, and I never really saw accidents close up other than on TV.
Right.
I had been in a couple, but nothing bad, you know.
Yeah.
I never really saw, you know, there was the first time I ever saw somebody impaled with something, or somebody that had flown through a windshield and was like off in the woods because their car stopped when they do an 80, and I never saw any of that before.
No.
And it's kind of like, if I were to get on the road the next day with my family and think of that, I couldn't even drive.
No.
I couldn't even drive.
No.
And
you'd be paralyzed with fear.
Yes.
You know? So
yes.
You can't be motivated by fear. You prepare, you use wisdom, you do not use knowledge. And like they're like you said, they're dropping it out.
Mm-hmm.
So just be aware of that. Be aware of that. But also in it all, there's a lot you cannot control. And you do have to give it to God and trust that he will take care of you. I pray Psalms 91 over my family a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, it's just, and that does cause peace for me, and just, and knowing that you're born for this time.
Yes.
Right?
That's
like,
the other part.
God, he placed you on this planet for now. Like
you're here for a reason.
Yes.
And you have to understand, it might be uncomfortable, but anybody who's read the Bible, everybody in the Bible's life was like sucking.
Exactly.
I mean, there's no one in the Bible that like, wow, this 4,200 square foot house and a pool, this is sweet.
No.
There was none of that.
In tribulation, you're gonna have to, you know, but take heart, I've overcome the world, is what Jesus says. Like, it's already been done. Like, the book is finished. We're in the book right now.
Yeah.
We're part of the story, and it's wild. And it's wild to watch some of the stuff, because you're like, if you would have looked at this 10, 20 years ago, some of the stuff you're reading in the Bible, you'd be like, how would that happen? Like, how would everyone be controlled monetarily and you can't buy or sell? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Yeah. But now you're like, I could see how they could do that. Like, I could see it. So,
well, look at
globalism that's taking place.
Yeah. I talked to a friend of mine in New York last night, and he said they finally finished in most of the drugstores in New York City, which is now a feral city, which is out of control. The New York City Police Department has retired, or retired.
They're on leave.
Yeah. I forget. It's over 2,000. They've lost over 2,000 cops.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Now they have a pretty big department. They're up around upper 30s, like 37, 38,000.
Yeah.
But I want to give you an example of some of the attrition of what's happening in these major cities. Minneapolis, home of St. George Floyd, where every street's named after a criminal, George Floyd.
Right.
When George Floyd, when that, what is her name now? I'm drawing a blank. Candace Owens, she wrote a book called The Greatest Lie Ever Sold.
Right.
And it brilliantly exposes the George Floyd scam. Yeah. And now, as you know, it's all come out. It started to come out 3 weeks ago. And then what happened 2 weeks ago? Someone stabbed the cop, Chauvin.
Right.
Remember?
Right. Yes. Yeah. Is he okay? Is he okay?
Yes, he is okay. He is okay. He recovered, but it was a lot. It was like a prison stabbing. It was like bam, 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 bam.
Wow.
Yeah, because if someone with a brain looks at that case, all those cops are going to get out.
Yeah.
So last night they finally finished plexiglassing and locking everything in the pharmacy. You know, the toothpaste aisle, everything. Everything's locked
Wow.
in the stores now because people are coming into the stores in almost a biblical way with a bag and scooping everything up.
I
I'm
was
taking
at
it.
what was it TJ Maxx about a month ago, and I was like looking, I was getting some cards or something there,
Were you
and
looting?
no, but a guy
Yeah.
was like, a guy walked by me with
Oh,
like
wow.
with tons of stuff, and they didn't call the cops.
Yep.
They were like, oh, he's stealing all of this stuff, and nobody tried to stop him or anything like that. And I didn't know what was happening until I saw him walking out the door, and I was like, are they not gonna? And
Nope.
that was it. Like, they're
Nope.
so bizarre.
That's the new normal. That's the new
Yes.
normal. You don't, that's the new normal. In fact, look at what the new normal is. And what I've been playing a lot on my Subscribestar platform is a lot of interactions with bad cops. Now, I have enormous respect for law enforcement, as I know you do, and the
Yeah.
majority of cops are good. But keep in mind, Biden and Obama and Hillary could not have gotten this far unless there were dirty FBI people, dirty
Oh
DOJ
yeah.
people.
Yes.
So I've been playing some of these interactions um, of these First Amendment auditors because this is the other way they're going to shut us down. As you know, they've redesigned the definition of everything:
Mhm.
insurrection, undermining democracy.
Right.
So who knows where we're going to be in 2 months? It might be, there might be another thing that comes out on Facebook that says, if you speak negatively of Joe Biden during the election cycle, that will be
Right. Or
considered.
any political
Yes.
candidate during the
Yeah.
election cycle. Yeah.
And you'd be amazed at how many cops don't understand the Constitution. Like I played something the other night. This guy had a F Joe Biden sign, and uh, the cops, obviously, they were leftist.
Right.
They were giving him trouble, and he said, "Look,
I
I don't
didn't
want
like
trouble.
it.
I'm just standing here and whatever." And the one cop knocks the sign out. They arrest him,
Wow.
and what they put on the arrest thing. Listen to this. This is going to blow your mind. We had several people call that say they were very offended
No.
by so and so, and we're not going to tolerate that in our community.
What? No.
Now, this is the other part. So here's what you have to do, Rachel. You have to see that movie
Okay.
for sure
Okay.
and understand that we have given law enforcement way too much credit. We think that they're going to step in the breach
Oh
and
yeah, no.
protect us from the Bidens and your governor and the senator. No, they're not.
No.
There's not enough of them that'll do that. We've already
Right.
seen that because if
Right.
that was going to happen, it would have already happened.
Right.
The
And,
FBI would have already outed these people.
right. And now we've got a new thing that was just thrown. Did you see this kind of like earlier today? The January 6th case, there's a January 6th case that's going to go to the Supreme Court about a defendant saying that the obstruction charge was wrongly applied. So if that happens, like there's so many of these January 6th people that are serving time on that will be dropped because they totally used the obstruction charge wrong, unconstitutionally. And that's going to be heard, I guess, in March, and then like a ruling or something in April. I mean, if that drops,
Yeah.
like the opposition, and that's like worldwide at this point, these
Right.
evil, they this is new news for them. So they are like, if that drops, we have to have a plan B in place. It's just,
Well, there's so much truth that is coming out. We just found out, I think it was Arizona, it might be Nevada, don't quote me, but it just broke in mainstream news that 5,600 of their voters were illegal foreign nationals.
yeah.
5,600.
Wow.
That's
And
just,
DC, did you see
yeah,
DC? Not
yes,
that DC is gonna, they're
yeah,
not gonna, they're still lefty, but they had to clean up like thousands and thousands
yep.
of their voter rolls. So
I don't
I mean,
think they're going to allow the truth to come out, but that's why, we were talking about some of the other big name truth tellers that are on the scene now.
right.
This is the only way it's going to happen because the problem we have, and you know this, being a patriot and a Christian and a mom and a law-abiding citizen, as many of us are, we play by the rules. So we're
Yeah.
like, okay, let's fill out the paperwork. Let's hire the attorneys. Let's
Yeah.
go through the motion and the evidence, and let's take it to another court. Let's do,
Right.
and the left just says, no, we're just going to loot your store. So
Yeah.
we're behind.
I
We're
know.
ahead with the evidence. The truth is on our side. The majority of Americans agree with us.
Right.
But unlike the left, we're not going to burn down a police station.
No.
We're
I
going to
know.
knock and we're, is anybody there? Can you help me? And
Right.
the left is just going to burn down the station and take the guns.
Yes.
So
I
it's
know.
going to be an exciting 2024.
It is going to be an exciting 2024. I'm just going into it like, cheers, but also like, here we go. Like, because it's just, I mean, I can't predict it. I can't predict it. And even like, I can't even predict if Biden is going to be the nominee. Like, that's where I'm at with,
No.
like, I don't.
No, I don't think he makes it. I don't think he makes it till the end of this year.
Yeah.
I think he's got less than 2 weeks. And
So,
I'm not saying it's a calamity. I'm saying
right.
in less than 2 weeks, he's going to say, look, I've been doing my best, but I have this disease. I'm an a-hole. And well, he's not going to say that, but they're
Right.
going to let him gracefully transition out.
Yeah. Because all this Hunter Biden stuff, that's like shady to me too. Like, I love it that we're going after Hunter Biden and all that stuff, but I'm also like, I don't want to provide the Democrats the opportunity to get someone else, but I feel like they will. I don't know. So that's
Well,
another.
I hear Gavin Newsom. I hear Michelle
Yeah.
Obama.
Yeah. Even my governor here in Colorado, Jared Polis, has been mentioned. He's very low key. He tries to play like he's this libertarian,
No, he's not.
freedom kind of no, but that's how he plays it. So I don't know.
Well, what's going on? What's going on in Colorado? Give us the update. Is that a state we can count on when the attack comes? If I call you,
I wouldn't head for Colorado.
Don't head for Colorado.
Maybe head for the mountains. That's what I would do, or head for the hills. I'm not. I mean,
don't go to the mall.
No, I like this. But the thing about Coloradans, here's the deal.
What is their problem?
They're so socially liberal.
Yeah, I know.
They're just like they're hippies.
Are you stoned now?
Oh no,
okay.
But they're so socially liberal and they're like, whatever. But they're also but they're fiscally conservative.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting to me. Like, they will not vote for higher taxes. They will not, but they're like, whatever, just you do you, I'll do me. And they're like, Trump is bad. But they're not necessarily like gung-ho, like, let's, cut children up and rename, give them different genders.
Yeah.
Not that there are progressives like that in Colorado, but that's not the majority of Coloradans. So it's a weird state. Like, it's hard to like label. It's hard to, but I do feel like the right person can finesse it in a certain way, but then you get the far right upset where they're like, just this is how it is. But you kind of gotta navigate in Colorado. You gotta play it right. You gotta
is your government salvageable? Because like, I don't believe Pennsylvania's government at this point is salvageable, because we have a bunch of gutless Republicans and we have a bunch of, in my opinion, criminal Democrats. And I don't know how we move forward with that. In other words, in our state, we have weakened every single election security thing since 2020. It's been weakened.
Right.
So we have more ballot, we have more drop boxes, we have more harvesting. You don't have to, the signatures don't have to match.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and the poll worker gets to decide.
No.
Yes.
Oh.
So this is what we've done. The Democrats looked at 2020, and you would have thought they would have been like us, the people. Man, we got to make sure this never happens again. The Democrats were like, this is great. We stole the crap out of that election. We need to double down
do it again
on how we did it.
Right.
Is that what's happening in Colorado?
Yeah. No, well, Colorado, well, I don't know. We have a very leftist, Jenna Griswold or whatever her name is. I think that's
Oh
her.
my God.
She's the one that was trying to remove Trump from the ballot
Yes.
in Colorado, and now it's
Yeah.
gone to the Supreme Court, and I don't know what they're doing with that yet. I don't think there's been a ruling unless I'm completely unaware of it. Yeah, she's far lefty. She's very progressive, and but I think like that alone has got to wake some people up. Like there are select few people that are trying to remove democracy. Like democracy is you get to pick, and I know we have a representative government and all that, but they're always spouting democracy. Well, democracy is you get to pick who you want to represent you. And Democrats have always touted that we want democracy, but I'm like, you're literally trying to remove a
Yeah.
person from the ballot, which is then removes democracy.
Well,
So,
they're trying to make it a plurocracy.
yeah.
And that's the whole reason for, you'll be shocked. I don't have the number in front of me. You'll be shocked at how many states now, since 2020, now allow illegals to get a driver's license. And parallel to that decision, the only thing you need to register to vote is a driver's license. So
Oh, great.
do the math on that. See,
Yeah.
that's the plurocracy right there.
Yep.
Target people like you and me and saying, well, we're going to arrest you, we're going to shut you down, and flood the precincts that are teetering or
Right.
where
They
MAGA
only
has
have to
made progress.
target, yeah, they only have to target certain, it's not a big, it's just there's those certain, counties that can flip an
Yep.
entire election. And
Antrim
especially
County,
Philadelphia, like Philadelphia. I mean, you take
Yep.
that.
Delaware County, Berks Bucks,
Yeah.
the county outside of Pittsburgh. You look at Michigan, it's Antrim County, and you could, we know all. I've studied all these cases so in depth. The way Maricopa flipped, the way
Yeah.
all these counties just, and the same thing. Oh, Michigan is a sewer. Michigan is horrific. It's less than, it's like a 40-minute ride. And this is the other thing that they had going on in 2020. They said, well, we're not going to hand count the ballots here. We're going to take them to a tabulation center.
Like, stop it. Stop.
Yeah. And then the Republicans are like, well, we got to stay with the ballots.
Yeah.
The Democrats in Detroit are like, you ain't staying with no ballots. Shut up and sit down. We're going to go count these. Guess how long it took them to get from, what was the county in, I'm drawing a blank now in Michigan, the county. Antrim. Yeah. How long did it take to make that 40-minute drive to get there to
Antrim County, isn't that northern? I think I go there every summer almost. Isn't that northern Michigan?
Yes.
Because it's red. It's solid red up there.
Well, they had to shut it down so Biden can win. But
Wow.
So outside of Detroit, there's a county that's about 40 minutes away. And this was the county where the pallets were dumped at like 3 a.m. in the morning.
Right.
And those people came forward and said they turned everything off. And then at 3 a.m. in the morning, we saw this car, beep, 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 dump all this stuff. And then they were just throwing them in. Yeah. Well, that all happened. It's all true. All affidavit. The judge wouldn't see it. He refused to enter it into evidence, just so you know. That's why so many of these cases stalled. That's why I think with some more pressure from us, I think by the spring of next year, people are they're gonna know the deal. So anyway, it took 8 hours.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop it.
They said, we're coming to the conference center. We've got all the votes. We're going to count them. And then they couldn't account for 7 hours between the 2 points. Oh. And when they arrived, there were thousands of more ballots. And
how'd that happen?
I mean, this is what's happening all over the country. This is our work.
Which is just ripe. I mean, I'm not to be like total like apocalyptic here, but like if they try to do that again in 2024,
it ain't happening.
You're looking at like a civil war. Like
it ain't.
Like people are going to.
You mentioned the C word.
Oh, am I not allowed to say that?
Oh, well, you can say anything you want on my show.
I'm so sorry.
You just have to have civil and war in separate paragraphs.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
So what I usually do is say, if you try pushing on us that hard again, there's going to be a very civil thing.
Yes. Yes.
Because
Yes.
we are at
I know,
war.
I know.
We are at
I'm
war
sorry.
with our ideas.
Yeah.
Not literally.
We're at like a tipping point that we're
Oh
literally
yeah,
it's like a boiling pot. And like we saw it all happen. We saw you do this. Like don't and then they're like, and we're gonna try to do it again. You're
oh,
like,
I know.
you can't.
And the thing about Democrats, and you mentioned this before, how this mindset of globalism and to go deep, the deep state and the cartels and the elites and the bankers and all this stuff that really exist.
Yes.
Like these organizations that run Switzerland and Belgium, they always like to foreshadow because it gives them added worth. So they're the ones that go, okay, so we stole your election, putting you in the chest. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? You can't do anything about it because we own the FBI, we own the cops, we own the media.
But I also think that is intentional. Like they want chaos.
Yes.
Then they bring in their agenda. Hey, we're gonna calm it all down. This obviously it's not working. We've got a better way.
Yep.
We've got this whole way we're gonna run the world. Just do as we say. You'll be happy. You'll own nothing. You'll eat bugs. It's all good. I mean, like, and
there are people in Illinois now. There's that bill. I don't know if it passed or not. They voted on it last Friday. If you know, shoot me an email. Don't shoot me. Shoot me an email. That said, if you own an AR-15, you need to contact the government and register it. And I'm like, are you smoking crack right now?
Wow.
Are you smoking crack?
Wow.
So the crap hits the fan. Here comes whoever, the Nazis, the Russians, the communist Chinese. It's just like in there knocking on the door.
Yeah.
I understand you have the following weapons. We're going to need those. Well, there's going to be so many bodies when that happens. But this is what Biden has proposed.
Yes.
Biden has said, if we just collected all the guns. This is the only thing that's keeping the lid on, Rachel. You asked me before, what are we going to do? I don't know. But one thing I'm not going to do is ever give up my Second Amendment right.
Oh, never.
Because I am not going to be someone's bitch slave.
Never.
Never.
And that when you talk to people, that would cause the civil event to take place.
Yeah, and in Colorado, there's a lot of gun owners.
There are a lot of gun owners.
And hunt owners.
Yes.
And hunters, rather.
Yes, even the lefties, they like guns.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're gun owners.
So there's about 200 million people. Well, there's about 130 million people that own a gun in this country. And it's estimated that there's close to 400 million guns.
Yeah.
And there's, I forget how many millions of us that carry legally and et cetera, et cetera. So that is, to me, that's the stark reality. That's the only thing we fall back on. But we don't have the luxury of talking about it because that's why I was joking about the civil thing. If we get too animated, we're in cuffs.
I know.
You're in cuffs.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Like, nobody's going to steal my election. Well, you're in cuffs.
I know.
You're going to prison.
It's crazy. It's all crazy. It's too much. It's too much.
So what else? What else is on the agenda? We're just covering things left and right here. This is a joy. We got to do this more often.
We should.
This is too much fun.
It is fun.
It is fun, and it's getting to the truth and laughing and all that other stuff. And there was something else I wanted to talk to you about, and I forgot what it was.
All right.
Well, you're looking on your. Well, I think the big turning point in the last month has been the growth and expansion and acceptance of truth-based media, which you and I are a part of.
Yes.
At all levels. Levels. And what I was frustrated with, because Fox kept beating Tucker down. Right. And for like years, they just beat the living hell out of Alex Jones and sued him for $1 billion and made up crap and mislabeled him. And I was so frustrated by that because, Rush's passing, I think, really changed the trajectory of talk radio. I think truth tellers in talk radio don't exist anymore because they're afraid of the corporate machine now.
And they rely on the advertising. So it's like, you
Yep.
know, and you can't really say what you want to say so you do need those supporters, and I'm sure that your supporters want, like, I don't think they understand how important it is to support what you're doing, Ken. Like, we
And
need,
yeah,
you know, whatever you can throw my way each month, like that allows me to not have to say, hey, I'm gonna look for sponsors and say what they want me to say, and
exactly.
I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I'm going to speak the truth, and to have people that support you monthly is monumental. It is literally game changing, I think.
It's keeping me employed.
Yes.
It's keeping
Yeah.
me employed. $10 a month is keeping me employed. And
Yes.
some people donate and they give tips, and you probably have tabs and pay things in
Yeah.
different avenues. And again, and this is for you too. Please keep my Christmas gift under $1,000.
Okay.
People don't go out and go crazy.
Stay humble. Keep it.
Stay humble.
Right.
Exactly. But so you've got Elon Musk. I think he is on. I do think at the moment he's on Team America. Okay.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Yes. Yes.
You got Tucker, you got Alex.
Yes.
You've got these massive forces in the truth area. And then let's talk about Vivek for a second, because people either love him or hate him. But
Right.
I think he is a brilliant soldier for Trump. He goes to the debates and he rips everybody a new one. He's totally wasted Nikki Haley. She's done.
Yes.
Nikki Haley's done.
He's been fully exposed. Right.
Yeah,
At
DeSantis is 41 points behind Trump in Florida, and he's the governor there.
That's not
So,
good.
and thank you, Vivek, because
Yeah.
Trump doesn't even have to go on and
Right.
say, "Hey, Nikki Haley, you sold out, you prostituted yourself to the defense companies." Vivek does it.
No. At first with Vivek, I wasn't sure, because he was this guy that came out of nowhere. And when someone comes out of nowhere, I'm like, who are you? And I didn't like his background in the big pharma. So I was like,
Yep.
And so I did do a live on him about, I would say about 6-7 months ago, where I was like, I don't know who he is. I don't know if I like him, but I've been watching him. And I do feel like if he's controlled opposition, because that was kind of my is he? Like, I think like he is helping Trump so much, like you said.
Yes.
So then, like, if he's controlled opposition, I don't think the opposition would want to help Trump.
Exactly. And I can't help but wonder if he didn't sit down with Trump and they had a reality check. There's no way Vivek can win. We know that. Okay. No. It's just physically impossible, electorally and population, everything. Right. So I wonder if there was a sit down in some exclusive place where Trump said, look, I think you're brilliant. You're too young, but you're singing on the right page with a lot of our music. Get out there and help clear the way for me to get elected. And, you can be the director of something in my cabinet. This is my little fantasy. If it's real, I don't know. But I will say, if he's out to hurt me or Trump, he's failing, because he's doing a lot for free.
Waking up a lot of people.
Yes.
A lot of people are like, oh, I didn't ever think about it that way. But the way he's able to convey the message is like, it's enlightening. And it's making people that were not on our team, like, suddenly be like, well, maybe there's something here. So I'm coming around with that. I've still got my eye on him, but I do feel like at this point.
Me too. Yeah.
He's probably decent. He's
decent. He's doing a lot for free speech.
Yes,
it's like people. Yeah. I have people in my audience that they're back and forth on Vivek, and I totally understand that. We have friendly debates, and the same with Elon. Yeah. You say what you want about Elon.
Well, yeah, Elon back and forth too. But right now,
But they just put Alex Jones back on. Oh my God.
Right. My thing is Twitter has to stay. Like, I mean, not Twitter, X has to stay. Like, and that's another target there for those.
Yes.
The bad guys. They don't like X. So we got.
I can't help but wonder if he named it X for that reason.
X mark.
I can't. And what we were talking. Oh yeah, you look at someone like Vivek. He is extremely articulate and well educated and well researched, and so you've got this young, hip man of color,
right?
And he's out there, and the media has done such a job trying to program everybody. White man bad, orange man bad,
Oh,
Republican bad. And here
yes.
comes Vivek. Did you see
Yeah.
when he was in Miami for a conference or something, and he went like jet boarding in a suit?
No, no, I did
Yeah.
not see that.
Yeah. And
I'll
whoever
have to
thought
look
that
that
up,
up. Yeah.
was brilliant.
Yeah. Like I
And
got an
they
idea.
staged it that way. He said, "No,
Right.
I've got a speaking engagement later," and he gets in the water in his suit.
That's funny. That's funny.
And I'm
I'll have
like, that's the kind of stuff. So when that guy speaks highly of MAGA, and when that guy says Trump is good,
right.
I'm taking it. I'm gonna take it
Yeah.
if I can get it.
Right. I agree. I hear you. I hear you on that one.
I'm not trying to sell you. I'm just, no, I'm really not. I'm just
No, I
saying,
know.
I
I
understand.
found myself because I started off very much like, no, no, no. And now I'm kind of like, okay. Like, and then I'll get in my head about it and I'm like, well, if he is this, then that doesn't make sense. So then I'll run through all
Yep.
these different scenarios. And he is waking people up, and that's what we need. Like, that's what it's all about. That's what I do. I make
Yep.
satirical videos trying to wake people up. Hey, like, look at it this way, or have you ever thought about this way, or you haven't seen, I'm making this so obnoxious that hopefully you see it. My goodness, please see it. Like, that's, so he's waking people up, and that's what we got to do. So,
And you do
anyway,
it with all these different characters that
I know.
are great. Who is your, according to your audience, what character do they like the most?
Uh, well, a reoccurring character that I always have is a woman named Karen.
Yes.
But Karen came about before Karen's came about. Like, she was before that hit. I named her Karen, and she's actually a Democrat, but she thinks like a Republican. She thinks right. I wouldn't even say Republican. I can't even. She thinks conservatively, and she's always like objecting to what like everybody in the room is saying, and she's just speaking logic. And then they're like, "We hate you, Karen," but she's just she's a likable character, not very attractive. Like, I put on this hideous wig that's just like, my goodness. Like, I'll be shooting and I'm like, Rachel, you look so bad. Like, you look so ugly right now. But she's fun to play. I like her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So,
again, there's I don't know how we organize, I have this fantasy where an Alex Jones or a Tucker is going to start, because the mainstream media is so poisoned and corrupt, that they're just going to start hiring a lot of us offline here and say, "Oh yeah, I've been, hey Rachel, we've been watching you. How'd you like to do an hour on the Tucker network?" Or, so, you know what I mean?
love it.
And
Sign me up.
well, you're halfway there being on Alex Jones. I mean, you're like a friggin' celebrity. That's
Well, I
big.
wasn't on Alex Jones. He played my video and was
But I
like,
mean,
who is
it's the same thing.
yeah,
And the
well,
fact that he said, "Who is this person?" 3
yeah.
million people just probably went, "She's Rachel."
Yeah.
I
Maybe,
mean,
hopefully.
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I do feel like and I got to run here in a minute because I got an appointment, but I do feel like if using comedy, using like just now, just we were able to address like really serious issues, but still like have joy because there's truth. We have God, we have a faith,
Yes.
and I think also using comedy really gets that person that doesn't like you to listen. They're like, okay, that made me laugh. I'll sit here and listen for a few minutes longer. And
Yep.
then you can we just got to start listening. If you can get people to listen, then they can start to think. And once you get people thinking, it's over. But once you literally like set aside your emotion, you pull them in with the emotion is what I'm about. But then you get them to start thinking. Then once you start questioning why did that happen, or who did that, or who's behind that, did that really happen? I'm going to look into it. Then you get the wheels of motion, and then you start winning people over. So
And
that's what I'm about.
you were talking about the Bible earlier, and you look at all this gender stuff. That's all in the Bible.
Oh
All
yeah.
the Bible. Not only false gods and false idols, but just the fact that the population will be so confused, you won't know the difference between a man and a woman or an animal and a man. And it's like,
Right.
we're there.
Yes, it's so messed up.
I'm in 3rd grade. I'm studying from a litter box.
Yeah.
You know, what do they call those people?
The furries or something like
Furries.
that.
What the furry is going on, man? That makes no sense.
It's,
But
so
you know
messed
what?
up.
I got to hand it to Jesus.
Yes,
He saw it coming.
he did see it coming, and
But
he
he's-
said, don't lose heart, don't give up. I've overcome all this. I already conquered it. I already took care of it.
Yeah.
Trust
Yeah.
in me, follow after me, tell people about me,
Yep.
and that's what we're supposed to do. So that's what we can do, and speak the truth. Speak the truth, even if people don't want to hear it. Speak the truth.
And
That's
unlike Muhammad, Jesus has a sense of humor.
Yeah.
He does. And that's why he's so hard to shop for. And I'm kind of torn. I don't know if I want to get him some of those Keen sandals or Crocs.
Oh.
Would
I
Jesus
don't
wear
even want to
Crocs?
say, I don't even want to say this, but I walk my dog like at least 4 times a day. Well, my husband walks him at least once. I
4
do it
times a day.
3 walks. Yeah. Yeah. He's a Belgian Malinois, Dutch Shepherd, German Shepherd. He's amazing. Like, oh, you would love him. He's just, he's extremely intelligent, excellent guard dog. Like he'd do anything for me. But
Oh
I
my
do
God.
walk,
How
I do
big
walk
is he?
him a lot.
Is he big?
I walk him a lot. He's about 80, 90 pounds.
That's big.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
very agile. Like he could jump up on this table if I needed him to. Like he's just like
Wow.
he's pretty cool dog. But I like to throw on a pair of Crocs and walk. Like I will wear the Crocs sometimes, and I'm like, I hope sometimes I'll be in the most horrible outfits walking around in my neighborhood. I've got like a hat on, like a mismatched, jacket, whatever I can find, Crocs. Socks. It's a hot mess walking down the road. If you see me, you're like, oh
There
my
you go.
God,
There you
give
go.
this woman some help. But I do enjoy the Crocs. They're comfortable. I don't
Good.
know.
Well, I
They're
know
not
you.
attractive though.
I
at
know
all.
you have people to see, places to go. You're Uber celebrity now. You need to call Alex back, and make sure. What is your dog's name?
Johnny Ringo from Tombstone, the bad
Oh,
guy.
nice!
Yeah.
What a great
But-
movie.
I didn't name that was my husband. I said, I would have gone with Doc Holliday. So if we get another one, I'm going with Doc
There you
Holliday.
go.
Doc Holliday, Johnny Ringo, but he's Johnny Ringo.
Well, with the new laws in Colorado, you can get him an absentee ballot.
Can I?
Johnny Ringo, put a paw print.
I should,
That's it. That's it.
I should do.
Mail it in, and get your kids in there too.
Let's do it.
Anyway, this was a real pleasure.
It was fun.
Let's do it again, because I
Okay.
tell you, as soon as I air this, people are going to be like, "Oh my God, is she coming back?"
Oh, yes, I'll come back.
So
There's
yeah.
so much to talk about.
Oh my God.
Hours from now, it'll be like, oh my God, what?
Well,
Like-
I know they're voting on the impeachment inquiry in 2 hours Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
Yeah. So by
Yeah.
dinner tonight or a little after, we'll know if the Congress had the guts to at least start looking into.
Right. But if they start that, Joe's gone. It's gone. There'll be
Well,
a
he's already.
he's gone. Yeah, he's probably
yeah.
gone either way, but then like they have someone lined up and we're gonna find out who they are pretty soon.
Yeah. But at least I do believe that some of the people they're putting points on the board. Some of the, like the Freedom Caucus,
Yes.
they're putting some points on the board. So not all is
Yes.
lost.
Yes.
Anyway, have
right.
a blessed Christmas, and
Me too.
I can't believe it's less than 2 weeks away. And
This time of year's nuts.
yeah,
It's nuts.
what's
I'm
your
glad I was
temperature
able to
there?
come on. Yeah, it's just go, 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 go.
What's your temp there?
My temperature outside, it's
I
like
mean,
40
roughly.
40,
Really?
it's like I've been telling Ken on the side here to your audience, but our furnace went out.
Oh, I
So-
didn't want to mention that because I didn't want someone like to loot you or something. And
Oh no, the furnace doesn't protect the home. We're in the house.
well, I didn't know. She's got her furnace is out. If we go over there like furnace repair people.
No, we already know we know the person that's repairing.
Okay, good, good. And
But
what we
if
need to do is we need to shoot the horse dart into Johnny Ringo.
No, that's terrible. No, my gosh, I'm gonna be sleeping with my Smith and Wesson tonight. Thanks, Ken. Okay. Now, what was I gonna say? Oh, the temperature. I'll tell you. It's like 39 out right now.
Oh, wow. That's not bad. We're sunny and 42 right now. So,
Okay. Oh, close to us. Not
and you know,
bad.
it's always sunny in Philadelphia.
Is it? Is it though?
That's a great
It's
show.
always sunny. It's like always sunny in Colorado. It is always, it's sunny.
Yeah.
It's pretty, we have like 300 days of sunshine here. Seriously.
Well, I wish you a blessed holiday and Christmas and everything else, and promise you're going to come back after the first of the year. We will have a super duper report then.
Yeah.
That's going to be good.
There will be so much to talk about.
Oh, by the way, where can people find you?
I'm on Facebook, Twitter. I joined a new site. You might want to check it out. It's called Wimkin. It's
interesting.
Yeah, it's like Facebook, but they're total patriots over there. It's like a
wow.
Oh yeah, they're all freedoms, free speech. There's no regulation on
really
speech.
How do you spell it?
It's WIMKIN.
Wimkin.
Wimkin. And I just joined them and I'm really, really liking it. It's like Facebook. And there's a lot of people, there's like millions of people over there. Like
really?
Yes.
Do you think it's like pulling from Gab a little bit? Because
it might be pulling from Gab a little bit. I think people that are like on Facebook that are like, I just want to say what I want to say, but they're not like tweety people. They're more like, let's make a post people, like Facebook is.
Right.
They're going over there. So, but you can go live there. Like I'm doing a live on Friday. I'm bringing a good friend of mine on to talk Revelation, the book of Revelation.
Awesome.
She's like she's just a good friend, but she's able to like make it so easy and simple. It's not like convoluted where you're like, I can't even wrap my head around. She's just like lays it all out nicely. And you're like, oh, and so she's coming on and I'm going to try to attempt to stream it over there as well.
Do they stream?
They do stream. Yeah, you can live stream.
I need to check that out. That's a great.
They would like you there, Ken. They would like you.
I'm going to try that.
Yeah. And then I'm on Telegram. I'm on X.
LinkedIn. That's how I track you down.
Instagram. Well, LinkedIn. That's my professional though. That's just me.
Well, I know, but you know.
I'm everywhere. And I'm also, what was I going to say? I also have a website that I need to like brush up and work on.
Okay.
Conservativemama.com, but I should probably start posting there more too. So.
Well, that covered.
I'm around.
Well, we will talk to you soon then and enjoy the rest of your day.
All right. Same to you, Ken. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.